Mythical fire creatures versus mythical sea creatures. Who is strongest? One big question many of you have been asking is which mythical creature is the strongest? Both sea and fire creatures have their strengths in different areas, but one still definitely has to be strongest. Want to find out who? Then this is definitely the video for you. Stay tuned. In today's video, we'll be deciphering which creature is the strongest between both fire and sea creatures. But before we go on, hit the subscribe button and turn on post notifications to be the first to be notified when we upload a new video. Done? Alright. First up, let's explore some of the differences between the two types of creatures. Fire creatures have the ability to produce flames or heat, which they can use to attack enemies or to defend themselves. They may also have heightened senses, such as the ability to see in the dark or sense vibrations in the ground. Fire is a powerful element that has been a source of wonder and excitement in ancient civilizations for centuries. The mythical fire creatures are often combinations of different animals who had strange bodies or were gifted with special powers. Mythical supernatural creatures that were powerful or magical were often associated with fire in some way. On the other hand, sea creatures have adapted to their aquatic environment by developing the ability to breathe underwater, swim at high speed, and even camouflage themselves to blend in with their surroundings. For example, the sirens are very mischievous sea creatures, and what they do is to lure humans with their songs so they can kill them. The kraken aggressively attacked ships and either crushed them, capsized them, or pulled them down into the depths of the sea. Sailors were plucked from their ships during a voyage and eaten or just left to drown. Next, let's examine the symbolism associated with both creatures. Fire mythical creatures are often seen as symbols of power, passion, and danger. They are associated with the element of fire, which is linked to energy and transformation. In many cultures, fire dragons and phoenixes are believed to bring good luck and protection. In many magical traditions, fire is associated with various spirits and elemental beings. For instance, the salamander is an elemental entity connected with the power of fire, and this isn't your basic garden lizard, but a magical, fantastical creature. Other fire-associated beings, including the phoenix, the birdman that burns itself to death and then is reborn from its own ashes, and dragons, known in many cultures as fire-breathing destroyers. Conversely, mythical sea creatures are associated with the element of water, which is linked to emotions and intuition. They are often seen as symbols of wisdom, spirituality, and healing. Mermaids and sea serpents are often associated with magic, spirituality, and healing. Mythical sea monsters and sea creatures have populated water since forever. These giant ocean monsters could wreak havoc on the surface at any given time. Some of the mythological sea creatures are so large they could lay waste to an entire city with ease. Next, let's take a look at how these creatures are in folklore. Fire and sea mythical creatures have different roles in folklore and mythology. Fire creatures are often depicted as fierce protectors or destroyers. The fire element has exceptional ability to forge, will, and tenacity. It is both a living representation of the divine fire that resides in every soul and our own inner light. This indicates that fire has a form in the earth plane and in spiritual realms, much like other elementals do. You will get burned, or alternatively, burn out if you don't use it with caution, moderation, and control. To tend and feed the fire element as the coals start to fade requires boundaries. The basic character of fire is combustive and unrestrained, whether it is the hearth fire, which is the center of the home, or a ritual fire at which humans and salamanders dance magic into existence. While sea creatures are often seen as benevolent or mischievous beings, the sea is the origin and destination of all waters. It is primal, enormous, and always changing. It moves forward and backward with the tides. All life sprung from it, yet its winds and waves kill the careless and unlucky. Given these associations, it should come as no surprise that the sea is so central to the creation myths of so many different cultures, or that its gods and monsters are among the most powerful. Controlling the waters requires a mastery of chaos and the ability to use both creation and destruction. Some psychoanalysts believe that sea monsters, especially the ones we picture living in the deepest oceans, are a symbol for the unconscious mind, which travels along its own twisting paths even when the conscious mind appears to be calm on the outside. We reflect the erratic nature in our own unpredictable natures, and we extrapolate our worries about both onto the outer world. For example, in Chinese mythology, the dragon is a symbol of good fortune and prosperity, while the kraken in Norse mythology is a monstrous creature that wreaks havoc on ships. Sea creatures are often depicted as those creatures of mystery and wonder, with the ability to swim great distances or breathe underwater. All in all, the habits of these creatures also influence their behavior and characteristics. Fire creatures are often associated with aggression and destruction, while sea creatures are associated with grace and beauty. Understanding these differences can help us appreciate the diversity of mythical creatures and the role they play in our own imaginations. Physical characteristics. Another key difference between these two types of creatures is their physical characteristics. Mythical fire creatures are often depicted as having fiery red or orange scales, sharp claws or horns, and the ability to breathe fire. They may also have wings or other features that allow them to fly. Mystical sea creatures, on the other hand, are often depicted as having sleek, streamlined bodies that allow them to move quickly through the water. They may have fins or other features that help them to navigate the ocean's currents or capture their prey. Mythical fire creatures and mystical sea creatures are both fantastical creatures that have captured the imaginations of people throughout history. While they share a sense of mystique and wonder, there are several key differences between the two. When it comes down to strength, it's tough to determine which is stronger between mystical fire creatures and sea creatures, as both have unique strengths and abilities that are suited to their respective environments. Mystical fire creatures are fictional creatures that are often depicted as powerful and magical, with the ability to harness fire and other elements to their will. Sea creatures, on the other hand, are real creatures that have adapted over time to thrive in underwater environments, and they have a variety of physical and behavioral adaptations that allow them to survive and thrive. Mystical fire creatures are often portrayed as being able to manipulate flames and heat to attack their enemies or defend themselves. They may also have magical abilities, such as telekinesis, flight, or the ability to control other elements, such as lightning or water. While these abilities are certainly impressive, they are fictional and not based in reality. Conversely, sea creatures have a variety of adaptations that allow them to survive and thrive in underwater environments. They may have streamlined bodies that help them move through the water more efficiently, gills that allow them to breathe underwater, and specialized sensory organs that help them navigate and locate their prey. Some sea creatures also have specialized defense mechanisms, such as the ability to release ink or emit bright flashes of light to confuse predators. Ultimately, it is difficult to determine which is stronger between fire and sea creatures, as they are not based on the same physical laws or environments. In terms of real-world strength and adaptability, sea creatures have a clear advantage due to their proven ability to survive and thrive in their underwater world. Which of these creatures do you believe is the strongest? Drop your ideas in the comments section below. And that, my friends, is where our time together ends for today. It's been an exciting peek into the details of fire and sea creatures. Tell us how thrilling the ride was for you in the comments section below. And for more awesome content, click the like button, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you don't miss out on our next incredibly amazing video. Till we meet again, stay frosty.